Today's hot seat is from Roshini State. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. She said, I know I am good, but why am I not able to convey this to my audience? I don't get any traction. Very short and sweet, hot seat inquiry. However, I can see what she is talking about. So this is Roshini's website, and I've really enjoyed going through this website. I think it's clean. I think it's well designed and the visuals are nice, but there are just some real fundamental flaws in terms of turning this website into an actual marketing asset, into something that's actually going to help Roshini close deals, get clients, promote her business, etc. So let's go through these one by one. The first mistake is right when you get to the home page. So there's beautiful artwork, a beautiful palette, and there's a quote right here. Because every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see, a million dreams, it's all it's going to take. A million dreams for the world we're going to make. Beautiful poem. I have no idea what this has to do with her business. And more importantly, if I am a potential customer, there's nothing in here that shows me why I should work with Roshini and why I should hire her as an interior designer, as an interior architect, and as a designer of any kind. So let's go down a little bit further. It says, hi, I am an architect and an interior designer by profession, artist by choice, and an athlete by nature, based out of Chennai. I have over 2 decades of experience in the design and construction industry. Whether it is to design, build, or make it aesthetically pleasing, there's so much we can do to make our living and workspaces better. Explore, and when something interests you, do connect with me. Again, this is it's fundamentally wrong, because if I am looking to hire an interior designer, the last thing I want to know is about you. The last thing I care about is your, I don't want to say your experience, because experience is important, but I don't want to know about you. I want to know about me. I'm selfish, right? I'm looking on the internet to solve my problem. And so selfishly, I should see a solution to my problem right away. So there's nothing here on the homepage that even describes the problem that you're trying to solve. I have to come down here and read this really, really small print to understand that you're even an interior designer. And you should never make somebody search for the solution to their problem. Okay, so let's look at the About page. The About page is struggling for 2 reasons. First and foremost, because of the picture, you never want to turn your back to your potential customer. I can tell that it's a beautiful photo, and as an artist, I'm sure that this was something that spoke to you, but you never want to put something on an About page because it is good for you. You want to put something on your About page because of how it's good for your potential customer. So really, what your About page should be is a bright photo of you with a big bright smile, good lighting, facing me, looking directly at me, so I can like get to know you, and it can evoke, it shouldn't say evoke, it'll bring out emotion in me. What do I feel when I look at you, when I look at the style of your work? And then underneath it, this is fine. The content's great. You know, this is where you want to explain about yourself. You don't want to talk about yourself on the homepage. The homepage is all about talking to your customers. So this should say really big and bright, like, I will help you with your interior design. I know that's not the best tagline, but that's what it should say right here. All of this is a bit irrelevant because nobody's coming to your website for a poem. They're coming to your website because they want to hire an interior designer. Okay. Um, the architecture page is fine. The art page is also fine. The advisory page is also fine. The problem that I have with them is that if these are your services, then you want to list them as your services. The way that this reads is it's more like architecture is something that you're interested in, and this is more of a collage for you. This is a place to jot down your ideas and to talk about what you're passionate about. But that's not at all what you want to do. If architecture is a service that you provide, then you want to explain how this service can benefit your customer. Um, the art is something that I'm a little confused about because, like I said, this doesn't totally explain like how you're solving the problem. The way this reads to me is it's again something that you're passionate about. You're just talking about art for the sake of art. Whereas if this is a service, what you want this to say is interior design. And then you want to really list the service. You want to list all of the benefits that you'll be able to provide to your customer if they hire you as an interior designer. In addition, you can show some of your past work. You can show some of the really beautifully designed spaces that you've already come up with, and your showcase. You can highlight the work that you've done and the satisfied customers that you've already worked with. Okay, advisory. Again, I'm just a little bit confused. Because my advisory channel is a one-of-a-kind cloud studio on Instagram that collates diverse design resources and keeps my audience up to date on the ever-changing trends of the industry. So this sounds more to me like a newsletter, like you use your Instagram almost like a bulletin board, like a newsletter. Um, do you have any questions about the design process? Okay, this is cool. Yeah, so here's your Instagram. Well, Instagram's not available, so that's a problem. So this looks like kind of a certification or a style of design that you either have mastered or that you use as inspiration, something that you're certified in. If that's the case, you want to put this right here in your about page. Like your about page is a chance to talk about you, but it's really more to talk about how what you do specifically can help your customer. This is the specific knowledge that you have. This is how you can present your craft in the way that only you can. So yes, the about page is about you as a person, but really it's about how you as a person are able to serve your customer in the very specific and idiosyncratic way that only you can. So on that note, right here, Vastu, I believe is how you pronounce it. This should be on the about page. And then connect to schedule a meet with the designer from your home or office. Like this right here is where you're collecting leads. And so, okay, well, you do have the contact up here, and that's great. My concern was that the only place that people can get in touch with you is with this tiny little link at the bottom of your advisory page. But I do see that you have the contact. Your gallery, so this is cool. You know, this is where you want to showcase your work, but more so than projects and artworks, what you want to do is showcase happy customers. So instead of saying gallery, I would make this say testimonials, or I would make this say, what's another word for happy customers? I would say like success stories, because this is really cool. This is beautiful to look at. You know, I mean, look at this. Wow, this is stunning. But what does it mean to me as the customer that's thinking about hiring you? Like, why should I search for your best work? As the customer, you're making it more difficult for me to find the solution to my problem. This kind of stuff should be on the homepage. It should be front and center. Like, this is what I do. This is my style. This is why I'm a good fit for you. This is how I can serve you. This is beautiful. Man, look at how cool this is. How amazing would it be to be able to sit here and relax and read and write and drink a coffee, right? Like this is your opportunity to really paint that picture, to sell the dream to your target customer. Beautiful. Very cool. Very cool. So I see two things here. I see interior design and I see architecture. And so once again, that brings me up here where your service should be interior design, or excuse me, your service should be architecture. And as you click on this architecture page, really what that should show you is past works of your work as an architect. So, this is like much more of a structural design. This looks like it's much more of a structural design. This looks like interior design. And so from that standpoint, you would want to list these showcases on this link, which shouldn't be called art, it should be called interior design. All right, now let's look at your blog. Wow, 26 views, like this is pretty great. If you have 17 views, 26 views, you don't need a lot, right? You only need one new customer for every month, depending on how much you charge. I think there's a huge missed opportunity in your blog. Okay, you're back, hang the right architecture drawing in hand as good as the image job. Completed on site. I would certainly encourage you to write more. There's only 4 blog posts on this entire website, and blogging, although it is certainly my preferred mechanism to create awareness around a service business, it still requires some consistency and some patience. So if you wrote blog articles that are keyword targeted, and with something like this, you don't even have to get that technical about it. If you just write about your design process, about your architecture process, if you write about inspiration that you see on the street and make it about the customer, Google will eventually start ranking your websites, and your customers are going to eventually start finding your content just by nature of you solving their problem for them. And so, I see the last article here was 2020, and even this article is probably about 500 words, right? I would commit to writing real content, real long form content that's going to serve your customer. And then last but not least, if you're going to bother writing this content, make sure you put a call to action in it. Why should somebody get all of this free information, this free inspiration, and there not even be an opportunity for you to promote yourself? So somewhere in this content, there should be a call to action. And if you want to send that to a contact form, that's fine. I would consider something more of a lead form, where it's not just like, hey, we would love to hear from you. It's like, get in touch with me to see how I can better design your house. Get in touch with me so that you can hire me, right? Like, you want to promote yourself. This is very passive. I would love to hear from you. Who cares? No one really cares about that. People are coming here to solve their problem. So that's what I would do. And if you want a good example of it, you can just look at what I do. So in Copyblogger, I do the same exact thing. There's call to action in every single blog post that we write. And this call to action, it goes to a real conversion-oriented lead form. This doesn't just say, hey, I'd love to hear from you. It says, give us just 30 minutes and we'll transform how you sell online, right? This is selling us. This is promoting our services. This is fixing our customers' potential problems. We will transform how you sell online. So in your case, this should say something like, I'll give you a free 20-minute consultation and I'll transform the design of your interior space. That's just like right off the top of my head, probably do a little bit better, but nonetheless, that's how you want to promote it. Okay, let's summarize. Homepage. This doesn't say anything about how you're solving your target customer's problem. You need to promote your services. You need to say what it is that you do. About page. Picture should be facing your audience and you should be smiling. And in your about page, you should talk about what it is that you do specifically that makes you a great interior designer. Architecture. This should really read as a service. This is one of the services that you provide. This doesn't necessarily mean what architecture is or how architecture is great for the world. This is about how your architecture services can solve problems. Art, this should say interior design. And again, this is a service page. Advisory, I'm still not exactly sure what this page is, but this information, I would combine a lot of this stuff into your services, into your about page. And then I would double down on the connect page. So this page you can basically get rid of. Your gallery, this should be something more along the lines of success stories. This is testimonial. This is the work. This is proof that you know what you're doing. And again, I would actually get rid of this gallery link, and I would use all of these pictures as either examples of architecture or examples of interior design and put them into your 2 services pages. Your blog, you just got to keep going with your blog. I love the layout of the blog. I think this looks great. But you need to write more. You need to write longer content. And last but not least, you need to use your content as a mechanism to sell your services. This isn't just free entertainment for people. If you're going to bother putting in the work to write content, you want to get something out of it. So make sure within the content, you create a very targeted call to action that goes to your contact page. And we're going to call your contact page your lead generation page, because this needs to be active. This is very passive the way you have it. You want this to be active. You want to incentivize people to get in touch with you so that you can help them with your amazing skills and services. That was great. Thank you so much, Roshini. I really, really appreciate you reaching out and you making yourself vulnerable for the hot seat. Thank you so much for watching this week's hot seat, and we'll see you on the next one.